All right. What's going on? Good afternoon, 49er faithful, 49er gang, 49er fam. This is Dion, your 49er reporter, back here with another video. This is our preview for the Atlanta Falcons that we got next. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go ahead and get into the particulars before I get started. Definitely hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button and make sure you turn on that notification bell to make sure you stay up to date on any and everything 49ers. Now we've had a few roster moves as of recently that not particularly care. I don't really care. I really don't. So we re-signed Jordan Matthews. We re-signed Dante Johnson. Do I really care about those? No, because they're just depth. Those are for depth. Okay, we put Marquise Goodwin on IR. He's done for the season. We're still not sure if Pettis is going to be able to start or any of that. Neither one of those moves really make me jump for joy or do anything. I have no idea why we brought back Jordan Matthews, because he's not going to see the playing field with KB, E-Man, and Debo out there. Like, he's never going to see. He'll see the field from the sidelines, and he's most likely going to wind up being inactive, which is, it is what it is. Like, we didn't care, So those are the roster moves that we made. Putting Marquise Goodwin on IR. What's the difference? He ain't been playing for us most of the year any damn way. He only has one touchdown. His stats are completely subpar. He's barely been able to stay on the field. He left for Perth. Like, there's just too many reasons why I don't care. Really, not bothered at all by the fact that Marquise isn't playing. I mean, you love his top-end speed, but Matt Breida's still fast. And so is Debo Samuel. Fastest ball carrier this week. We got another one. So the fastest ball carrier all year has been Matt Breida, 22.3 miles an hour. Debo Samuel just hit 21.27 miles an hour. I feel like if he gets out in the open field, he's just gone. And this is him running at angles. So he's not even running straight line. These are angles that he's running at. Fully padded and everything. So to me, that's how you show me your speed. I feel like the 40 at the combine is very skewed because they're not in full pads. They're just in cleats. So they're basically out there running damn near, naked, unfortunately, That's just how I look at it. Because, all you have on is cleats. Everything is super light. So you're going to run your fastest. But when you have the extra, 5 pounds of fucking gear and shit in the helmet, that's where they should test the 40. And they should just have you run, standing straight up, just go. But anyway, on to the Atlanta Falcons. So this game, I'm pretty sure all of us feel this way. This is a gimme, Atlanta Falcons are 4-9. They're nothing to be afraid of. I don't really see us having too much of a hard time actually beating these dudes. Surprisingly, even with their record, they're still the number 7 offense in the league. They're number 3 passing, but they're 30th rushing. And that's just because Devontae Freeman's been injured most of the year, and his backups obviously definitely haven't gotten the job done if you're 30th in rushing. And we all know Matt Ryan ain't running for nothing, unless he's running for his life or running from a defensive end. So, defensively, 21st overall, 24th passing defense, 15th rushing defense. So they're ahead of us in rush D. But, we improved ourselves as of late, shutting down Alvin Kamara, which was definitely a tall task. So for Devontae Freeman, 506 yards, 1 TD. He is a dual threat running back, though. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. So you still have to be respectful of such. We would expect Tevin Coleman to give us a little insight on, Mr. Freeman there, because he's been with him for all those years. Hey, they always say, we don't ask players that. That's a crock of shit. Guarantee you they asking Tevin Coleman, how do we stop Devontae Freeman? Him and Robert Saleh is kicking it right now. They having a nice long talk. So, next up, they still have a high-powered passing attack, with Ridley, Jones, and Hooper. they can be dangerous because they don't have anything to play for. They could just want to spoil our playoff hopes. Because you remember a few years ago what Navarro Bowman did to him, that interception, that hey man, sometimes you don't forget shit, man, and that shit burns. It stings, and every time you play that team, all you want to do is run them into the fucking ground for screwing up your chances. But here's the beauty of it. Calvin Ridley's out for the rest of the year. I mean, that's not beautiful for that man, but it's beautiful for us not to have to play him because he was the leading receiver on the squad. So Ridley's out for the year, so all we have to really worry about is, Julio Jones and this kid, Austin Hooper. As of late, man, these tight ends have been kicking our ass. Like, I don't understand what's going on, man. I feel like Saleh isn't paying attention to what's happening, and he won't switch out of that fucking scheme. He won't switch out of the zone, and they keep finding soft spots in the zone with the tight end, and they fuck around and score, or they get big chunk yards. So he's got to learn, like, hey, man, I'm going to have to start saying, Drake, you were great when you were in college at pass, pass coverage. So, hey, that tight end goes, follow his ass. We're going to have to stop sticking so far into the scheme that if you do the scheme and you do your job, things will work. Everything will be fine. No, it doesn't always work that way, bro. You got to make adjustments. That's why every fucking game in the second half, you seem to make an adjustment that seems to help us win games. While I appreciate that, you ain't been making no adjustments for these fucking tight ends the last 3 weeks. It's been eating us alive. So we got to be very careful with that. Seattle tight end ate us alive. Jared Cook, until he went out with a goddamn concussion, was killing us. And then the next dude came in and started trying to kill us again. So, that little tight end, I think Hayden Hurst, whoever the hell he is for Baltimore, was eating us alive. So that's the thing we got to worry about is the tight ends. And Austin Hooper is a very good tight end. So for Julio, 69 catches, 1,016 yards, only 4 touchdowns, but he's been injured a little bit this year. Not even going to get into Ridley stats. He's relevant, not playing. Austin Hooper, though, 58 catches, 640 yards, and 6 TDs, man. So look at these stats. So Hollister for Baltimore, 8 catches, 62 yards, TD. Andrews, 3 catches, 50 yards, TD. Cook, 2 catches, 64 yards, 2 TDs. So, they're exploiting coverages in our zone and taking advantage of it, man. So we have to be real careful. Matt Ryan's got 3,559 yards and 22 TDs, but he's been sacked 39 times and he's thrown 12 picks. So, he's still Matt Ryan to an extent, but we've got a good pass rush, and hopefully, our offense can run the ball and chew up time on the clock to give our defense some rest, man, because we are tired and beat up. After Baltimore, man, that was a hell of a game in the rain. Then we go out there and have a goddamn shootout with the fucking Saints. It was a lot, man. It's a whole lot. So, for the current trend the Falcons are on as of late, it would dictate a win, but that's not going to happen. They had 2 wins against the Saints and the Panthers, and then 2 losses with the Bucks and the Saints, and just beat the Panthers. But we'll disrupt that flow, guaranteed. I'm not gonna worry about that. That's pretty easy. And if y'all see me kind of looking off to the side, because I'm reading off the notes. So Russian Witchburg, man, we unfortunately have lost him for the season to a torn patella tendon. Told y'all that. K1 is in concussion protocol. DJ Jones has a sprained ankle. But if K1 passes concussion protocol, he'll play. Like, you already know that much. K1 ain't finna just sit out. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be a tough task to fill all these bodies that we're missing, man. Matt Ryan in the last 5 games has thrown 4 interceptions. Also has taken 20 sacks in that time frame. Tampa Bay got him 6 times. New Orleans got him 9 times. Now when he averages 20 to 21 completions, they win games, which is kind of odd. So if you keep him around that number, they usually win. And when he has to throw, more than 34 to 35 pass plays. So you're looking at that, and his percentages, as such, but For us, it's taking away the run, forcing the throw, and we got him. Only 2 games he's lost where he hasn't thrown a pick. Any other game that he's lost, he's thrown picks. So what we'll do is we'll definitely try to keep him, tied down. Now let's get into some injuries for the Falcons. They got a tackle, Ty Sombralo. You got another guy, Sherrod Nesman. He's a DB. Schweitzer is a guard. All 3 of those dudes I named are backups, but they're injuries nonetheless. So that way, if somebody does go down in the game, then these dudes, they don't have anybody to replace them. You got Calvin Ridley out for the season. Carpenter, who's a starting guard, he's in concussion protocol. Desmond Trufant's out for the season, so that bodes well for us against their defensive backs. So you got to think about it, man. Like with those injuries, especially along the offensive line, they don't have any backups. So they're really going to be trying to plug and play if somebody goes down or somebody, unfortunately, were to get injured in that game. So we can definitely go ahead and take advantage of that because our defense will just be eating them alive. And then we'll jump over to the injuries for us, which can be a little bit of a bitch because it's going to suck. Tart's out. Tart's not going to play this game. Pettis, we'll see if he practices this week. Personally, I feel like just keep his ass on the sideline to keep him inactive. We don't need him. Goodwin, gone for the year. Weston Richburg, gone for the year. Julian Taylor's out this week. Uncle Sherm's out. And so is D Ford for a couple weeks. Now, Sherm, I'm going to tell you right now, we won't see him until the playoffs. Guaranteed. We won't. Because at this point, all we have to do really is continue to win, and we're in the playoffs. We want the number 1 seed. That's what we're striving for. But we need to continue to win, and Seattle needs to continue to lose. So here's the thing. When it comes to Julian Taylor, we'll miss him a little bit, but, he'll be back. I'm pretty sure he'll be back at least by the Seattle game, if not the Rams game. Uncle Sherm, got to give him that rest. It's a grade 2 hamstring, so he's got to stay out. D Ford, he's an underwhelming disappointment to me. I like the 6.5 sacks, don't get me wrong. I like his production when he's on the field, but you guys know me. If you watch my videos, you know how I feel about it. If you're not on the field producing, then what are you doing but taking up a roster spot and sucking up cap space? And that's what D Ford is doing. He played 4 fucking snaps in the damn game against the Saints, and next thing you know, my hamstring again. We knew he was injury prone when we traded for him, and right now, it's not necessarily paying off. This is not going to be a great thing for us. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a hell of a fucking time for us to try to figure out how in the hell we're going to get, some kind of production out of the guy if he can't even get on the goddamn field. And I don't want him waiting to the playoffs because I guarantee you it's going to be the playoffs. Then he's going to come in for 2 series. Oh, my hamstring again. I got to go out. Bro, tear that motherfucker before you sit your dumb ass down. I'm tired of it, man. I understand injuries happen, but when you are injury prone, you're a waste of time. Look at Jason Verrett. We brought him in. We were hoping and praying this dude was going to be healthy. Because when he plays and he plays hard, Pro Bowler, star, number 1 DB. What happened? Another injury. It is what it is. So you can't be too mad at him, you know what I mean? That's just how they work. So basically what will happen is Ben Gardner's going to go ahead and come in for Weston Richburg. We already saw that last game, filled in admirably. He was in there all offseason because Richburg was recovering from, I think, another surgery that he had. So him and Jimmy G got a good chemistry, and I think the line has a good chemistry with him already too. So we'll be fine there. I like Richburg. I think he'll be back and he'll be good next year. So, I'm not gonna fault him or knock him because he came out and he played. And he played all these games, and he did everything that he needed to do. So I'm not going to sit up there and knock Weston Richburg. He did his job. We'll see E-Man in there. And I think that's, of course, why we signed Dante Johnson, because we have, technically speaking, we got K1, DJ Reed, E-Man, Akello. And that's pretty much it. As far as defensive back, so you signed Dante Johnson to get a 5th defensive back in there just in case, because we're going to need bodies depending on what they try to do. You know that Atlanta's more so a passing team, and they rely on Matt Ryan to get them through games and get them to W's. And our struggles have come this year against teams that are weaker than us. We lost the only 2 games that we lost by field goals, and we lost those to 2, pretty good opponents. I don't like giving the Seahawks any kind of credit, but I mean, I'm not dumb. I'm not blind. I see it. They're pretty good. So for us, man, we got 11 players on IR, 6 players on defense, 5 on offense. Like, it's ridiculous, bro. I think right now we have Kentavious Street trying to practice, so we can see if we can bring him back for depth on the defensive line. Tim Harris Jr., I don't care. He's out. Like, he's been on IR. Jason Verrett, it was a 1-year rental. You won't see him next year. We got some kid Lauderdale. He was an offensive lineman. Didn't even pay attention to it. I didn't even remember this guy at training camp. And then, of course, we had Sean Poindexter. He was a wide receiver, but he was never going to make the squad. Like, come on now. He was on the practice squad for a reason. So the ones that hurt is Hurd, Taylor, Richburg, on offense, and then on defense, DeMontre Moore, Ronald Blair, and Quan Alexander. We're missing Quan because of Quan's coverage skills. He's been, he was doing a great job before he went down with the torn pectoral muscle. So it's 2 years in a row he's been injured. So let's pray to God next year he can stay healthy. Blair, that was a freak injury, man. He just actually maintained his health throughout his tenure with us as a defensive lineman. And DeMontre Moore, that was just like the worst thing that could have happened. Like, he broke his arm, man. Like, right after he just did some great things for. I was really banking on seeing him ball out. But we called up Valoaga. And then Jalen Hurd, be honest with you, it's going to be a little hard, man, because he has a back issue. So when you have a back issue, that could linger continually. And we spent a 3rd-round pick on this cat, man. We went Deebo Samuel and then Jalen Hurd, 2 and 3. So that'd be a waste of a pick, man, if we fucked around and he just can't play football. Or he's pulling a D4. Oh, I'm here for 2 games, now I'm out for 6. I feel like that's a waste. But this video is necessarily a game plan for the Atlanta Falcons. Pretty much all we got to do is try to hold down Julio Jones. And we're going to have safety help over the top. If Tart isn't able to go, we're going to have Marcel Harris back there again. And he's got to be on his P's and Q's fucking around with Julio Jones, because Julio Jones will make you pay. He's still got top end speed, and he's still a bad motherfucker. You do not want to just think that, he got older and he's slow. No, Julio will still burn your ass. And we all know that any of our DBs can get burned on any given day, especially dealing with, somebody with his speed and his skills. I mean, Julio is a bigger, badder Michael Thomas. You know what I mean? So to be flat out honest with you, we got to stop Julio, and we got to stop Devontae, and we got to shut down Matt Ryan. And our defense has to get home. Shout out to Nick Bosa last week for just playing as hard as he possibly could, jumping on both sides of the line. His motor just never stopped, and he's been great all season. Has not, missed a beat. And he's been doing what he needs to do. When we think he might be injured, with limited snaps to be able to conserve him. But he's been an aberration. I think he's coming around. If he can get himself a couple more sacks, he might pull off Defensive Rookie of the Year. But the only issue is, man, we really got to stay. We got to get home. We got to get some sacks. And I mean, if New Orleans could sack him 9 times, and the Panthers can sack him 6, we should be able to sack him fucking 15. We have the pass rushers to do it. For our injuries, to be honest with you, I think DJ Jones will be playing. I'm pretty sure he'll just take the shit out of his ankle and he'll go. Let's pray that K1 passes concussion protocol, because then we continue to keep having our slot guy. And right now they're playing with a bunch of backups, man. This should be an easy W, but we still have to, like I said, be very careful and be very mindful because of the situation where we don't, we're playing against a bunch of unknown guys, and we don't really know their skills and what they can really do. Matt Ryan's not too bad with throwing the ball and making sure he puts it in spots where receivers can get it. But another beautiful thing is Shanahan coached him. So he got the inside track. He knows his weaknesses. He knows exactly how to attack them. So I guarantee you, as a collective, Shanahan, Tevin Coleman, Salah, everybody sitting down saying, hey, this is what you do. This is how you attack them. This is where you go, blah, blah, blah. And they putting together a game plan that's going to kill. Didn't look good for our defense last week for them to give up 46 damn points. But you can't really stop it. It happened. And we are definitely on our way, man. This is a gimme. I'm going to say right now we probably win this game. I had to say like 35 to 12. You know what I'm saying? We should be giving them just field goals. They shouldn't be scoring. If they score, it's because Julio scored. It's not going to be on a Devontae Freeman run or anything like that. I feel like we're going to try to make sure that we fill those gaps in the middle. That's the issue with the wide nine. It's susceptible to runs up the middle. But other than that, man, it should be an easy W. We should go in, we should be at home murdering them. I'm going to say 35 to 12. But if a blowout happens, we putting up another 50 burger. That's it. Another 50 burger. But at the end of the day, y'all stay 49 faithful. Stay blessed. Y'all have a wonderful day. And I'm out.